What's up, everyone? It's Zilla coming back with a new story time, I guess. By the way, if this microphone sounds really shitty, just let me know. I have another microphone that I'm planning on starting using. I just haven't hooked it up to the camera yet. Today, I want to talk about something a little... I want to talk about something a little creepy to some. Something that I don't talk about publicly, like, at all. So I think I'm gonna need to start with a little bit of background. Best way to explain it is, I guess you could say I have some sort of... I'm trying to think of the best way to say it without sounding like crazy. I've only talked to some people about it. Some people call it a sixth sense, or... I don't know. I guess you guys can listen to the stories, and well, I'm just gonna tell one specific story today, and you guys can debate what you think. It's a little bit of background. So going back to my grandma, Lucinda, on my mom's side, that's my grandma, her mom, and there was always, like, I want to say she's like, in my mind she was magic. Like, she can foresee things pretty well. Like, example, someone's pregnant, she always has a dream of, like, the little fish symbol, which if you look it up, it shows that actually means that you having a dream about someone being pregnant. Excuse me. It's like the little, like the fish symbol they used to draw back in the day for Jesus and everything, basically. When they wanted to, you know, when the churches were supposed to be there, and so they would, like, hide it, basically, and they draw the fish symbols, like, go here. It's like that. And so, leading down to my mother. My mother, it's like, she sees some things, like, sorry, I'm checking if the camera's still on. Like, example, if, this is gonna sound kind of dark, so I'm just gonna tread it lightly. If someone in my family passes away, she might have a dream that she is in their exact position, and she sees everything goes down, sees them die, or, like, in the hospital, whatever it is, and she wakes up, like, flustered, obviously, and she's like, what's going on? And then she gets, like, a phone call that this person just died, and they explain it to her the exact way. And they explain it to her the exact way that she dreamed it, right? So, leading up to me, of course, because I'm the unlucky one. Well, some people think it's cool. I, however, do not. So, when I was little, I used to see, like, ghosts and things. That's what I'll call them. And I used to always freak my sister Rachelle out, because I would always tell her how they're around them. And this is, like, in my mind, because I was so young, I thought there was my imagination. I've always had a real strong imagination. I still do, which is weird, but it goes hand in hand. And so, like, I would always think I just imagined those people. But, like, even now down the line, like, I still remember exactly, like, how I described them and holding balloons, like, all this crazy stuff. Which, I guess when I was younger, I told her that they're ghosts. I don't remember interacting with them. I remember talking sometimes. And, like, my parents would see me talking to nothing, and I would exclaim that I was talking to, like, my grandpa that passed away or something, and, like, say things that, I don't know if this is making sense. I would say things like how they would say. For example, I guess my mom said one day I was supposed to be in bed, so she came to check on me, and she heard me just talking, like, having a full-blown conversation. And so she was like, Miko, like, you need to be asleep. This is when we lived in California. You need to be asleep. Who are you talking to? And I was like, oh, I'm talking to Grandpa. And at this time, my dad's father had passed away. And I guess, of course, I was little. I remember seeing people wear black, but I don't remember any of this. I remember talking, and then my mom come to the door and, like, running away from me. That's it. And so she was like, you're talking to Grandpa, because she was thinking of her dad. And she was like, well, that's impossible. And she was like, no, I'm talking to Grandpa. Daddy's dad, he asked, why doesn't he ever write him? And so my mom, like, freaked out, not ran, but she went away, because she was like, what the, which, if I was a parent, I think I'd think the same thing. And so she went to, my dad, and he was sleeping. She told him about it. I guess my dad said when he was younger, his dad lived in California and his mom lived in Washington State, which is where they all live. Random here. And so I guess he said every time he would talk to his dad, that's always what he'd ask him. He's like, how come you guys never write me as a little kid? I didn't know that. But yeah, so things like that have been happening my whole entire life, which I won't get. Okay, I'm gonna get deep in this video, and I wish I would record this more in the day, because I might freak out tonight. Lately, I've been thinking about this thing that happened to me, which I've never, I think I might have told one person, but I did not tell them in the full extent of which everything happened. Till today, I always just think I dreamed it. It's weird, like, because when I see ghosts and things like that, it feels like an outer body experience. It feels like I can't touch myself. It feels like, this is gonna sound like I'm fucking crazy, but I swear to God, like, it feels like I'm not me. It feels like I'm like seeing them in a different light, and it's like kind of fuzzy and like trippy and shit, but I don't do any drugs. And so I remember we lived in this house. My mom and dad decided to buy this house. It was a really nice house in a really nice neighborhood. Kind of expensive. I remember seeing it. It was a 2-story house. It was dope. It had a pool table. It had a nice kitchen, spacious living room. It had upstairs, which in the upstairs there was like a bathroom. Then there was 2 doors, and it was like my brother's room, my room. And like that's front door, stairs, a dining room, I guess. You know, hallway, living room, parents' room. End of the hallway, kitchen area, little downstairs area where the pool table was, and washer and dryer. I hope that's a good representation, so you can kind of envision it. So I used to always, like, as soon as we moved in the house, which is weird to me, I had these like really bad feelings. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Even when I meet people today, like, if I get a certain vibe to you, I will not fuck with you. Like, I don't care. Like, if I get that bad vibe, I don't talk to you. If I get a good vibe or like an okay vibe, I'll talk to you. Simple as that. Like, I'm a strong person that goes on what I'm sensing and what I'm feeling, because it's never led me wrong. Sometimes I try to ignore it and then I get led wrong, if that makes sense. I'm kind of like just tripping out a little bit. Okay, so basically, oh my God, I saw one of my little EVs and I was like, okay, I need to calm down. Sometimes when I talk about this stuff, I start like tripping, because like it just, I was watching a YouTube video where a lady was talking about a similar situation that happened to her, and that's what like has me being extremely paranoid. Okay, so basically, anyways, like I was telling you, I was getting really like bad vibes, and like my room, first of all, I don't care what anyone says. My parents, my brother, my sister, my nephew. My room was the creepiest room in the entire house. Excuse me. In the entire house. No lie. Like, okay, so it was a pretty spacious room. So I was like grateful for that. I never had like a big room to myself. And so it's like a room. Here's the door right here. Here's the room. All this back here. Here's my bed. Here's my dresser. And then there's like a big closet, right? So there's like a door frame for the closet, no doors, and it's like a pole inside where I hang all my stuff up. The weird part is there's a little part behind the closet where, like, if you looked, it goes into, like, I guess the attic, the rest of the house. I never went back there. For some reason, every time I looked that direction, like, shivers would come down my spine, and I would start like shaking and getting panicky and stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna mess with this room. I don't think I've ever really talked about this. Sorry, I'm like trying not to cry, cause like I hope I'm explaining this well, cause this is the craziest thing that's ever happened. This is the reason why I think I'm like terrified now, cause now I don't see ghosts, but I can hear them and stuff like that, and like sometimes I'll feel them, which creeps me out. I'll like turn around swinging and no one's there, and I'm like, holy fuck, like what's wrong with me? And I kind of putting out this video just to, I hope someone feels the same way or like can relate to what I'm feeling, because I'm starting to think I'm just going crazy. Like I tried to explain it to other people, I feel like they don't really understand. Like I am terrified. So I used to like I told you, this is back, it was probably in no, not probably, it was in 2014. I'll say it was more, it was while I was in basketball season, like right before. Thank God we did not live at that house for a really long time, because it was, I hated that house so much. And so like I would always get these bad feelings. And one night I'm sleeping, I wake up exactly at 3 a.m. Probably like 3:13, stuff like that. And you know that 3 a.m. is the devil's time. And so I would wake up perfectly, and I would like see this figure by my closet. It was just dark, it was tall, it wasn't an alien, but it was like tall, like a dark shadow. It would just like be looking towards me. Like you think, because it's a shadow, like it didn't have facial features, so it could have been looking in the corner. No, I could feel it staring at me. And I've been reading stuff about sleep paralysis. I would say it was that, where sleep paralysis, look up the definition, but from my understanding, it's like you're sleeping, but you're awake, and your body like can't move, like you're just stuck there. And you know you're sleeping, but you can't move from it. And like people, sleep paralysis has made people like kill themselves. Like it's a very serious thing, and some people I know have went through it. Like I don't take this lightly, but it was like when it was in the room, I could not move a muscle. I know I was awake because I would always wake up and try to sit up, but I couldn't move my body. But I opened my eyes, and it's just stare at me, and then like randomly it would just go and it would like crawl into like the attic space, and I'd be able to move my body again. It was like the weirdest thing. First night happened, I went to the bathroom, I like washed my face because I was like, man, I am tripping, but I could not sleep until like the sun came up. And so this is probably the weirdest part. My fridge just stopped making noise. Probably better for the video anyway. And so one day I'm sleeping, I wake up, I saw the figure, just, I don't know how else to explain it instead of dark shadow, but it's like my whole room, this is not, which I am afraid of the dark, but at the time I was not, so my whole room's pitch black, right? But I see this figure, and it's like darker than black. Like, I tell you, like, it felt like my heart was not even beating through my chest. I see it crawl out of the attic space, and it walks up. Two things. First time, it walked up to me, and it's like just standing at the end of my bed, which I had a, I want to say I had a queen size bed, but it could have been smaller. I don't remember. And it's just staring at me, not moving, not anything. Then I see like, and it's just doing all that, and it's just staring at me. And I'm like about to like shit myself, but it was like I couldn't breathe, I couldn't do anything but keep staring at it. And it just like starts getting on my bed, and I swear on everything, when it put his hand on the bed, I felt the bed dip down, like somebody was really crawling on my fucking bed. And it like gets up there, it's like crawling towards me, just, and I'm just like what the fuck? But I can't move, like I can't scream, my throat wouldn't work, and it's just like crawling, it's like looking in my face. And then all of a sudden I hear someone downstairs. I think my dad had gotten home, and like looks that way towards the door and looks back at me like this, at this point is this close to my face. And it just like crawls from the bed, stares at me for a couple more minutes. My dad starts coming up the stairs, and it just takes off and runs back into the attic. And my dad opened the door and I can move again. And he's like, hey, I thought I heard something. And I was like freaking out. So at this point I got terrified to sleep in the dark anymore. And so from the next few weeks, I start leaving the lights on in my room while I'm going to sleep. Well, I guess probably about a couple weeks later, 2 or 3 weeks later, someone, which I hope, I love you guys, I love you, Mom, Dad, Tom, but I hope you guys feel like dicks for whoever did this. Someone decided when I was asleep with my light off to turn the light, or with the light on, to turn the light off. And of course, you'll never guess what time I wake up. It's about 3:33. I swear to God, 3:33. And okay, at this time, remember, like you guys know, I was in a church in another town that we lived in. Still went to school there, but we lived in a different town. And so I was actually in prime religion at this time. Excuse me. And I do think that the more religious you are, the more these things try to come to light. The more you believe in one thing, the other thing wants to come interfere. And so I wake up and I start to get up and I look up because I went to turn the light on. And literally the dark thing is right here. I'm laying down and it's right here and it like bends down and its face is right in my face. And at this time we're just staring at each other. I don't see any eyes. I just see a dark face like just towering over me. I see his whole body. And it's like hands are still on his side. Like, it's just staring at me like, what the fuck are you? Like, at me. And that's the point in I have never been so scared in my life. I felt tears rolling down my face because I was like, what the fuck is this thing? And, like, at that moment, I started praying because I thought that something was about to possess me or about to kill me. And I started praying. It was weird because as soon as I was like, Jesus, please help me. And as soon as I said that in my head, because I couldn't say it out loud, it like sat up. It like from towering in my face like this, it just like gets up a little bit, and it turns its head at me. It was like it could fucking hear me in my head, which scared the fuck out of me. I was like, God, please, if you can hear me, please. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. And I'm like, please, if you can hear me, please help. I don't know what to do. Jesus, my Savior, and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, it was like, I swear to God, like, you guys are gonna think I'm so crazy. It was like smoking almost. And like, it stood up all the way like it was pissed. Like, it was no longer like just like curious about me. It started getting like agitated and like moving around a lot. And I just kept praying, I could not take my eyes off it because I knew if I looked away, I was going to die or something was going to happen. I would not be me anymore. I kept praying and slowly, it just starts like slowly walking away and it turns itself and like slowly like backward crawls into the attic. And as soon as it's not there, I can move. I run as fast as I could and turn my light on. And literally, while my hand's on the light switch, I'm on my door, and I just started bawling my eyes out. That was the scariest shit that ever had happened to me. I never even told anyone about it. I can insert 2 pictures in this house where I swear to God, I won't zoom in, but you guys feel free to do it. This was on my prom night, and I swear on everything, you can see a demon in the background, like, and I know a lot of people are gonna think this is fake. No, like, when my sister, I'm stuttering, I'm like shook from telling this. My dad and my nephew are downstairs in the little pool area, talking shit, playing pool, you know. My sister and my mom are around me because I'm in my dress. They have my box braids all in the style they wanted, and my sister's doing my makeup and everything, so they want me to take pictures. The light is off in that room. No one was in the fucking living room, and I remember even seeing, when she sent me the pictures, it was like I could see something in the background, but I was trying so hard not to be terrified, because this is after all that stuff happened. So I'm already, like, freaked out. And the person I was with at the time was like trying to show me like, oh, look at this or something in the back. I was like, don't show me that. Shut the fuck up. I was being so rude. And I know they didn't understand why because they did not know the story. They did not know what I was going through. Turns out less than a month later, we end up moving because that house was way too expensive. And come to find out, so there's literally these. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. In the like rooms, in the living room, in the kitchen, like all these other rooms, there's these boxes where it says like you can talk, and it's like showing like room 1 through 3, and like all these rooms. I guess the house was like some type of like old person house, or like they took care of the sick or something there, and so like if someone needed help or like something, they could like press the button and it was a speaker and they could talk to someone in another room and like call up and things like that from the stairs, which makes sense. And so once we leave, I look at we're all finally unpacked. My dad's at work. It's me, my mom, and my brother Tom. I look at them. I'm like, I didn't want to tell you guys anything. But I was like, I think there was a demon in that house. Like I always saw this dark figure, and I never got into detail. But then my brother Tom was like, it's actually the weirdest thing you said that, because he was like, some nights like it don't happen from this time to this time, and those were the times I started turning on my light. Because I was scared. He was like, I would always like wake up around 3 and see this like figure in the corner of my room. And my mom was like creeped out, because she was like, I swear to God, like I would hear stuff in the living room at night when we were all asleep, and I like would see things and stuff, but I thought I was just scared, and we were all afraid to talk to each other about it. But yes, please talk to each other. If you see something or feel something that's not right, like start praying. Whatever you believe in, if you're a Buddhist, a Muslim, I do not care. Like there are things in this world we cannot explain. So just, I don't know. I hope you guys believe me, because I have so many more stories about crazy stuff like that I can't explain. I just don't know how. I hope you guys enjoy this story time. I'm going to try to edit this without crying or cringing. And see you guys next time. Peace.